Hello everyone, welcome back to another one shot. Hope you will enjoy it. 6 years, that was how long Taehyung and Jungkook had been married. 6 years of shared mornings, quiet kisses before work, late night talks, soft laughter and promises whispered under blankets. 6 years of choosing each other again and again, and in the middle of their love stood their biggest miracle. 3 years old Jian Tae-ju, a boy with big eyes and a smile that looked exactly like Jungkook. Their life was not perfect, but it was happy. Jungkook was the CEO of a fast-growing company. His days were long and exhausting, but he always tried. No matter how late he came home, he never forgot to kiss Taehyung's forehead, lift Tae-ju into his arms, or ask how their day went. Taehyung understood. He always did. That evening, Taehyung stood in the kitchen. He stood in the kitchen, gently stirring soup, while Tae-ju sat on the counter, swinging his tiny legs. Tae-ju, Emma, Appa came home today? Taehyung, Taehyung, yes, baby. Appa promised. Tae-ju clapped his hand happily. Taehyung watched his son with warmth, filling his chest. His small family was his whole world. When the door finally opened, Tae-ju jumped down and ran. Tae-ju, Appa. Jungkook barely had time to remove his shoes before a small body crashed into his legs. Jungkook laughed. Telling his son, Jungkook, did you miss, champ? Tae-ju nodded hard. Tae-ju, I wait. Jungkook kissed his cheek, then looked up at Taehyung. Their eyes met. Taehyung smiled, the kind that always made Jungkook chest as with love. Jungkook, I am home. Taehyung, welcome home. Everything was still perfect then. 2 weeks later, everything began to change. Jungkook came home later than usual that night. Taehyung was already feeding Tae-ju dinner with his phone burst. Jungkook, Taehyung, I might be late today. Taehyung, is everything okay? Jungkook hesitated before replying. Jungkook, an old friend, came back, company work. Taehyung didn't ask more. He never did. That old friend was Somin. Somin had been Jungkook's childhood friend. They grew up together, shared dreams, and promised to stay in touch. But life happened. She moved to Australia 15 years ago. They lost contact. Now she was back with a daughter. Jungkook met her at the office first. When he saw her older but familiar, something nostalgic filled his heart. Somin, Jungkook, you really become mistress successful. Jungkook smiled. Jungkook, he came back after a long time. Somin smiled sadly. Somin, I had to. Iseul needs a new start. Iseul was quiet little girl who held her mother's hand lightly. That day, Jungkook learned Somin was divorced. She wanted to settle in Korea. Somin, I don't know anyone here anymore. Can you help me? Jungkook didn't even think twice. Jungkook, of course, he didn't see it as a mistake. He thought it was just helping a friend. The day became busier. Jungkook started leaving early and came home late. Meetings, house visits, paperwork, helping Somin find schools, watching Seoul when Somin had appointments. At first, Taehyung said nothing. But slowly the nights grew lonelier. Tae-ju waited by the door more often. Tae-ju, Emma, Appa not home? Taehyung hugged him. Taehyung, Appa is busy, baby. One night turned into many. Dinner plates went cold. Stories went unread. Taehyung lay awake alone, staring at the ceiling, listening to the silence. When Jungkook finally crawled into bed late at night, Taehyung was already facing the other side. Jungkook noticed, but not enough. The first real crack happened at the same company family gathering. Taehyung had dressed carefully that day. He held Taeju's hand as they entered the hall. People smiled. Han, Chairman Jian's family. Taehyung bowed politely. He searched for Jungkook with his eyes. Found him. Jungkook was standing near Somin Iseul was holding Jungkook's hand. Jungkook bent down, smiling gently at the little girl. Taehyung stopped walking. Tae-ju tugged at his hand. Tae-ju, Emma, Appa. Taehyung forced a smile. Taehyung, yes. Jungkook saw them. Then he waved, but didn't move. Moments later, seats filled quickly. When Taehyung reached the table, there were only two chairs left, far from Jungkook. Meanwhile, Jungkook pulled a chair out for Somin and helped Iseul sit. Laughter followed. Someone whispered, "Dream." They look like a perfect family. The words pitched deep. Taehyung sat down slowly. Tae-ju climbing onto his lap. Tae-ju looked confused. Tae-ju, Appa, no sit here? Taehyung said. Taehyung, Appa is busy. Throughout the night, Jungkook barely came over. He laughed with Somin. He helped isolate. Taehyung sat quietly, his smile frozen. No one noticed his shaking hands. That night, Jungkook came home late again. Taehyung was sitting on the couch in the dark. Jungkook, why are you awake? Taehyung, I was waiting. Jungkook frowned. Jungkook, I told you I would be late. Taehyung stood up. Taehyung, you didn't tell me you wouldn't even look for us. Silence. Jungkook said, Jungkook, you are overthinking. That was the moment something broke. Taehyung nodded slowly. Taehyung, okay. He walked away. No arguments, no tears, just silence. From that day on, Taehyung changed. He stopped calling Jungkook, stopped asking when he would came home, stopped waiting. He focused on tae-ju, morning walks, story time, soft laughter, but only with his son. When Jungkook tried to hug him, Taehyung gently stepped back. When Jungkook asked what was wrong, Taehyung replied calmly, Taehyung, nothing. Tae-ju followed his Emma. When Jungkook lifted him, Tae-ju leaned away. Tae-ju, Emma. Jungkook laughed awkwardly. Jungkook, what's with both of you? No one answered. The house felt cold, empty, even when all three were inside. One evening, Jungkook watched Taehyung feeding Tae-ju. Taehyung wiped his son's mouth gently, smiling softly. Jungkook realized something terrifying. That smile wasn't for him anymore, and for the first time in 6 years, Jungkook felt afraid that he had taken his family for granted, afraid that the silence he ignored was screaming. The silence did not come suddenly, it grew like a shadow that slowly swelled the light inside the house. Jungkook noticed it first in the mornings. Taehyung no longer waited for him to wake up. Breakfast was already packed and placed neatly on the table. Tae-ju sat beside Taehyung, eating quietly. Jungkook reached out, ruffling his son's hair. Jungkook, good morning, champ. Tae-ju looked at him, then at Taehyung. Tae-ju, Emma. Taehyung, finish eating, baby. We will be late. They stood up together. No good morning kiss, no soft take care. The door closed quietly behind them. Jungkook stared at the empty space. Something felt wrong at work. Jungkook stayed busy as always. Someone walked beside him, holding documents while Iseul escaped happily ahead. Somin, I don't know what I would do without you. Jungkook smiled lightly. Jungkook, it's nothing. But when Iseul suddenly reached for his hand, Jungkook hesitated before holding it. A strange discomfort settled in his chest. Later that day, while passing through the hallway, Jungkook overheard voices. Han, Chairman Jian is really kind. Rim, yeah, he's taking care of that woman and her daughter like his own. Han laughed. Han, I thought the little girl was his. The words hit Jungkook hard. His smile vanished. For the first time, he didn't feel proud. He felt ashamed. That night, Jungkook came home earlier. That the lights were on, but the house felt quiet. Taehyung was in Taeju's room reading him a story. Taehyung and the little star finally found his way home. Taeju yawned. Taeju, Emma, Appa read tomorrow. Taehyung paused for half a second. Taehyung, if Appa is free. Jungkook stood at the door listening, his chest tightened. After Taeju fell asleep, Taehyung walked out. Jungkook reached for him. Jungkook, Taehyung Can we talk? Taehyung gently moved his hand away. Taehyung, I'm tired. Jungkook frowned. Jungkook, you have been tired every day. Taehyung looked at him calmly. Taehyung, yes, just that one word, cold, final. Jungkook lay awake that night. He stared at Taehyung's back. No warmth, no closeness. He remembered another night. Years ago, flashback. Taehyung lay beside him, laughing softly. Taehyung, promise me something? Jungkook, anything. Taehyung, no matter how busy you become, don't make me feel alone. Jungkook had kissed his forehead. Jungkook, I promise. Reborn. The next few days were unbearable. Tae-ju completely stopped asking for Jungkook. When Jungkook tried to play with him, Tae-ju shook his head. Tae-ju, am I play? Taehyung never stopped Jungkook, but he never encouraged Tae-ju either. He simply watched, silent, strong, hurting. One evening, Jungkook came home to find Taehyung packing Tae-ju's bag. Jungkook, where are you going? Taehyung, my mother's house. Tae-ju will stay there tonight. Jungkook's heart dropped. Because my son cries in his sleep, asking where his appa is. The words crushed him. Jungkook opened his mouth, but no excuse came out. Taehyung lifted Tae-ju. Tae-ju wrapped his arm tightly around Taehyung's neck. Tae-ju, Emma, don't cry. Taehyung smiled softly. Taehyung, Emma is okay. But Jungkook sighed. The red eyes, the pain, the door closed, and Jungkook was left alone that night. Jungkook finally broke. He sat on the floor, head. Flashback flooded in mind. Taehyung holding Tae-ju for the first time, crying. Taehyung waking up late with food. Taehyung smiling even when tired. Taehyung understanding everything. He whispered to the empty house. Jungkook, what did I do? The next day, Jungkook confronted Somin. Jungkook, I can't keep doing this. Somin looked surprised. Somin, did I do something wrong? Jungkook shook his head. Jungkook, no, but I crossed a line. Somin looked down. Somin, your family? Jungkook nodded. Jungkook, they are hurting. For the first time, he said it out loud. When Taehyung returned home the next evening, Jungkook was waiting. The house was quiet, no food, no distractions. Jungkook stood in front of him. Jungkook, please talk to me. Taehyung took off his shoes slowly. Taehyung, I have been talking for weeks. Jungkook's voice trembled. Jungkook, I didn't hear. Taehyung laughed softly, without humor. Taehyung, exactly. Jungkook stepped closer. Taehyung, intentions don't change impact. Silence filled the room. Taehyung continued, voice calm but broken. Taehyung, I stopped asking because it hurt too much. I stopped waiting because my son was watching me break. Jungkook's eyes filled with tears. Taehyung, you choose them again and again, so I choose my child. Tae-ju walked in, holding his toy. He looked at Jungkook, then hid behind Taehyung. That hurt more than any word. That night, Jungkook didn't sleep. He searched online how to apologize to your spouse, how to regain trust, how to fix a broken family. One answer, repeated actions. Jungkook looked at a picture on his phone. Tae-ju at Disneyland smiling for a poster. Taehyung once showed him. Taehyung in Paris, eyes shining while watching a movie. Jungkook whispered, Jungkook, let me fix this, please. The next morning, Jungkook booked tickets. Disneyland Paris, not as a gift, as a... He knelt beside Taeju's bed. Jungkook, Appa made a mistake. Taeju looked at him quietly. Jungkook, can Appa try again? Taeju didn't answer, but he didn't turn away either. That was enough. For now, Jungkook stood up with determination burning in his chest. This time, he would not be late. The airport was loud, announcement echoes, people rushed past, wheels, suitcase clicked against the floor, but inside Jungkook's chest everything felt quiet and heavy. Taehyung walked a few steps ahead, holding Taeju's hand. Taeju carried the small backpack, glancing around with wide eyes. Taehyung didn't look back even once. Jungkook followed, not leading, not beside, behind, exactly where he felt he belonged. The flight to Japan was quiet. Taeju sat by the window. Jungkook sat in the... Taehyung sat between them. A silent wall. Jungkook watched his son stare at the clouds. Jungkook, Taeju, Appa used to dream of flying when I was your age. Tae-ju looked at him, then at Taehyung. Taehyung gave a small nod. Tae-ju, really? Jungkook smiled softly. Jungkook, yes. I thought clothes were made of cotton. Tae-ju giggled, but it was something. Taehyung noticed. Disneyland was everything Tae-ju imagined. Bright colors, music, and characters waving. The moment Tae-ju saw the castle, he froze. Tae-ju, Emma. His eyes sparkled. Taehyung nailed. Taehyung, do you like it? Tae-ju nodded first. Tae-ju, it's big, Jungkook said. Jungkook, Appa wanted to bring you here for a long time. Tae-ju looked at him quietly. Then he reached out and held Jungkook's finger, not the whole hand, just one finger. But Jungkook's eyes burned. Jungkook didn't touch Taehyung, not once. He stayed close but respectful. He brought snacks, carried bags, tied Taeju's shoelaces, wiped ice cream from his chin. Taehyung watched everything. He said nothing, but his heart thumped. One moment stayed with him. Taeju got scared during ride. Before Taehyung could move, Jungkook pulled Taeju close, rocking him gently. Jungkook, Pai is here. I wouldn't go. Taeju sniffed. Taeju, promise? Jungkook pressed his forehead to his son's. Jungkook, I swear. Taehyung turned away, blinking fast. That night, Taeju fell asleep quietly. Tired and happy, Jungkook tucked him in carefully. Jungkook, good night, my love. Taeju mumbled. Taeju, Appa, don't be late. Jungkook froze. Jungkook, I wouldn't. He meant it with his whole soul. The flight to the Paris felt different. However, Paris was Taehyung's dream. Jungkook remembered the night Taehyung once said it quietly. Flashback. Taehyung crawled against him, eyes shining at a movie scene. Taehyung, if I ever go to Paris, I want to fall in love all over again. Jungkook had kissed his temple. Jungkook, then I'll take you. He almost broke, remembering Paris welcomed them softly. Cold streets, golden lights, slow evenings. Taehyung stood at the hotel window staring out. Jungkook stood beside him, answered. Jungkook, Taehyung, you don't have to forgive me. Taehyung didn't turn. Taehyung, I know. Jungkook, but please let me show you. Silence. Then Taehyung, we will see. The days passed gently. They walked together, talk about Taeju, shared meals. Sometimes their hands brushed, sometimes they pulled away. At night, the space between them felt louder than words. One evening, Jungkook finally broke. Jungkook, do you know what hurt me the most? Taehyung looked at him. Jungkook, seeing Taeju choose distance because I taught him I wasn't safe to wait for. Taehyung's eyes filled. Taehyung, he copied me because I was breaking. Jungkook knelt in front of him. Jungkook, I'm sorry. Taehyung turned away. Taehyung, sorry doesn't erase. Last evening came too fast. They stood near the Eiffel Tower. Lights glowing, crowds surrounded them. Taehyung held Taeju's hand. Jungkook stopped walking. Jungkook, Taehyung. Taehyung turned. Jungkook took a breath. Then he dropped to his knees. Gasps filled the air. Taeju's eyes widened. Taehyung froze. Jungkook, came Taehyung, I failed you. His voice shook. Jungkook, I forget that loving someone means choosing them every day. I choose comfort. I choose wrong. Tears streamed down his face. Jungkook stayed silent to protect our son, and I didn't listen. He bowed his head. Jungkook, please forgive me, not because I deserve it, but because I promised to earn it every single day. Taehyung covered his mouth, crying openly now. People watched it, but Taehyung only saw Jungkook. Taeju tucked Taehyung's hand. Taeju, Emma, Appa crying. Taehyung stepped forward. He lifted Jungkook's face. Taehyung, I didn't want grand gestures. Jungkook nodded. Jungkook, I know. Taehyung, I wanted presence. Jungkook held his hands. Jungkook, you have me always. Taehyung broke. He pulled Jungkook up and hugged him tightly. Don't make me silent again. Jungkook sobbed into his shoulder. Jungkook never. That night they held each other like it was the first time. No rush, no fear, warmth. Jungkook kissed Taehyung's clenches gently. Jungkook, I love you. Taehyung whispered back. Taehyung, I love you too. Tae-ju slept between them safe. Weeks later, back home, life felt different, better. Jungkook came home early every day. He ate dinner with them, read stories. When someone called her, Jungkook kept boundaries clear, respectful. His world was here. One evening, Tae-ju ran into Jungkook's arm. Tae-ju, Appa. Jungkook laughed, lifting him high. Taehyung watched it, smiling softly. The silence was gone, replaced by love. The rain outside was gentle. It tapped softly against the window, finally filling the house with a calm sound. Taehyung sat on the floor with Tae-ju sketching color blocks. Tae-ju hummed happily, completely focused. Jungkook watched them from the doorway. Moments like this had become precious to him. He checked his watch, then cleared his throat quietly. Jungkook, Taehyung, can I talk to you? Looked up. Taehyung, of course. Jungkook sat beside him, careful, respectful, just like he had learned to be again. Jungkook, somin, called it today. Taehyung's hand paused for a second, then continued his sketching blocks with Tae-ju. Taehyung, okay? Jungkook swallowed. Jungkook, she asks if she can meet my family properly as my family. He didn't rush Jungkook, but I told her that I would only answer after asking you. Taehyung, finally. Taehyung, you did the right thing. Jungkook, if you are not comfortable, I'll say no. Taehyung studied Jungkook's face, the honesty, the patience, the care that had been missing before but was now always present. Taehyung, running away wouldn't help anyone. Jungkook's eyes softened. Taehyung, she didn't hurt us on purpose. You did, without knowing. Jungkook nodded, guilt still familiar. Taehyung, let her. We are strong now. Tae-ju suddenly looked up. Tae-ju, friend come. Taehyung laughed softly. Taehyung, yes baby, a friend. The day Somin came, Jungkook was nervous. He cleaned the house twice. He checked the food again and again. Taehyung noticed and shook his head. Taehyung, relax. You are not meeting the board of directors. Jungkook laughed weakly. Jungkook, this is scarier. The doorbell rang. Jungkook took a deep breath and opened the door. Somin stood there with iseul holding a small gift bag. Somin looked nervous. Somin, thank you for letting us come. Taehyung stepped forward calmly. Taehyung, please come in. Somin bowed deeply. Somin, Taehyung, Tae-ju, I owe you both an apology. Tae-ju peeked from behind Taehyung's leg. Taehyung gestured towards the living room. Taehyung, let's sit. Everyone sat down. Somin held her hands together tightly. Somin, I never wanted to hurt your family. I was selfish and unaware. She bowed again. Somin, I am truly sorry. Tae-ju tattled his head. Tae-ju, Emma, she is crying. Taehyung smiled softly and nodded. Taehyung, yes. Taehyung looked at Somin. Taehyung, thank you for saying that. Somin's eyes filled with tears. Somin, I should have kept better boundaries. Jungkook spoke firmly but calmly. Jungkook and I should have protected my family better. Taehyung reached from Jungkook's hand. The small gesture changed everything. Iseul quietly walked towards Tae-ju, holding out a small toy car. Iseul, do you like cars? Tae-ju's eyes lit up. Tae-ju, yes. He took the car. Tae-ju. Iseul smiled shyly. Soon they were on the floor together, laughing, pushing cars, building roads. Somin watched them, tears slipping down her cheeks, but this time from relief. Somin, they are already friends. Taehyung nodded. Taehyung, children don't hold grudges, they feel honesty. Later, while the kids played, Taehyung and Somin stood in the kitchen. Somin, you are very strong. Taehyung shook his head. Taehyung, I was very hurt. Somin, thank you for forgiving me. Taehyung made his eyes. Taehyung, forgiveness doesn't mean forgetting, it means choosing peace. Somin smiled softly. Somin, I hope we can be friends. Taehyung thought for a moment. Taehyung, we can start there. That evening, Jungkook watched from the cars. Taehyung and Somin laughed quietly while preparing snacks. Tae-ju and iseul sat between them, giggling. His chest felt warm, full. This was what he almost lost. Later, after somin and iseul left, Jungkook hugged Taehyung from behind. Jungkook, thank you. Taehyung leaned into him. Taehyung for learning. Jungkook kissed his temple. Jungkook for staying. Days turned into weeks. Life settled into a gentle rhythm. Jungkook started leaving work on time. Meetings were scheduled around family dinners. Phones stay away during meals. Every night, Jungkook read Taeju a story every night. One evening, Taeju sat between his parents, holding both their hands. Taeju, family. Jungkook smiled. Jungkook, yes, my love. Taehyung rested his head on Jungkook's shoulder. Taehyung, this is enough. Jungkook held them tighter. He had learned love was not loud promises. It was showing up every single day. The end. Hope you enjoyed the story. I don't know what will you think about it. So comment me down if you ever have any rabbit and how does he behave. Yeah, and he's like more obsessed with me and my GF, and we sometimes get so bothered. But he's cute and I love him a lot. So everything is fine. See you again. Bye bye.